What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the channel for anybody that this is your first time. I'm absolutely humbled and honored to have the opportunity to talk with you today, and hopefully share a little bit of insight with you on how you can get some really killer fitness results without making things complicated. Because my mission with this channel is to just share what I'm doing, because my goal and what I focus on every day is to become the best version of myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And I think the coolest thing about social media and platforms such as YouTube is that we can share what we're doing at scale with other people. And what I've learned in through social media is that a lot of us are the same. You struggle with the same things I struggle with. You want the same things that I want. And if we use these platforms appropriately to share our experiences, we can all learn from each other and we can all get better that much faster. And so that's actually the mission of the Pay Yourself First project. And with this being episode 3, this is actually gonna be my first episode over anything fitness, which is really interesting because that is what my full-time career is. I do work for First Form full-time as assistant director of sales, and I absolutely freaking love it. Because we've helped millions of lives at this point, and there's nothing more fulfilling than helping somebody change their life physically, because when you can change your life physically, everything else seems to fall into place. And so in this video, I'm going to go over my training, my nutrition, and my supplement regimen that I followed over the last 8 weeks in our spring transformation challenge to lose about 15 pounds body fat and really get to the leanest I've ever been in my life. I'm going to kind of just throw this out there that none of this is complicated. Okay, if you are coming to this video for some secret sauce or some secret supplement or secret training program, whatever it is, or some magic fairy dust, I don't have it. Okay, so if that's what you're looking for, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna save you your time. Okay, and you can quit the video here. All right, because what I'm about to share is really the basics. Okay, but it will show you that the basics work when you work. Okay, and everything that I do, when it comes to fitness, in my kind of philosophy is consistency, not complication. Right? Because if I have one frustration with the fitness industry, it is how complicated everybody makes things just for clicks and likes and attention. Okay, you do not need a special diet program. You do not need a special training program. You don't need special supplements. The truth of the matter is, you don't even need supplements at all. Right? Supplements are that. They supplement a nutrition plan in the gaps that you have. And so while, yes, I'm going to go over my supplements, I just need to be honest with you, like, supplements are just the tools, right? The work that's done in the training and the nutrition plan is really the foundation of the results that I was able to get and lose the 15 pounds of body fat that I have over the last 8 weeks. Okay, so kind of starting with a little bit of context, I started about 207 pounds. I'm 6'2". All right, and so I started 6'1.5", whatever, 6'2". But I started about 207 pounds. Okay, and I finished the challenge at 192. All right, and so starting with my training program, because I want to get that out of the way because it's fairly straightforward. Funnily enough, I was following the big booty building program by my man Ryan Fisher, and I will tell you that I followed that because I was training with my fiance, and that is what she wanted to do. And as any good partner would do, I was like, all right, cool, I'll do that program with you. And it's really, honestly, straightforward. It's about 4 days a week of actual lifting and 3 days off. And really, it's kind of like two of the days you do 2 leg movements, and then 2 of the other days you do 1 leg movement, and then your chest, your shoulders, your back, your arms, and your core and your calves are really kind of evenly spread out across the rest of the week. But I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. Like, it's a lot of the same movements over and over and over again. And, you progress, just by, adding more weight each week or adding more sets or more reps, whatever it might be. And that's one real quick point here that I want to make as I'm talking about training is everybody talks about muscle confusion, right? And confusing the muscle or challenging the muscle. And I got to change this workout and change that workout. Look. You confuse your muscle by doing 135 pounds last week and then doing 145 pounds this week. Like, it's different. Okay, it might not be different to you psychologically, but physiologically, that is different. That is a new stressor to your body that is going to cause an adaptation. All right. And so to kind of address the training program thing and how you can kind of take what I've done and apply it to yours is find a training program that you enjoy doing and just stick to it. Okay. And stick to it for probably, I would say, at least 8 to 12 weeks. Because you don't need to bounce from this HIIT workout to this strength training workout to this CrossFit workout to this, that, whatever. Like, there's no consistency, right? And when you can consistently train the same movements each and every single week, and you just increase the weight associated with those movements, your body will adapt to that new stressor and you can get the results that you're after. And the beauty of that is that you can be consistent, okay? And it's those little consistent things done over time, okay, that actually drive the big results that we're after, and obviously the physical results that I've seen. So that was my weight training. Now, I was doing the 75 Hard Mental Toughness program, so that does come along with doing 2 workouts a day, 2 45-minute workouts a day. And so one of those was my weight training. And then my cardio was a 45-minute go ruck with a 50-pound ruck on my back pretty much every single day. Now, I will be honest, there were days that my calves were too tight, my back hurt, my shoulder hurt, or whatever it might be, just because, normal annoyances, that I would take the ruck off and I'd just walk. Okay, and I'd just do a 45-minute outdoor walk without, anything crazy. Like, I wasn't sprinting or jogging, or it was just walking. Again, nothing sexy, nothing complicated, something that everyone can do. But that is what my cardio looked like every single day. That was my outdoor workout. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, well, TJ, so that takes care of your cardio for 7 days a week, but you said you only lifted 4 days a week, but you did 2 workouts a day. Right, so that's 3 other days, right, that I did not have a training session to do. And honestly, there were days that was yoga. There was days that was an extra walk. There were days that was a light active recovery lift. There was days that was a run. Like, it really just went whatever I felt like, and I could get that 45 minutes of movement in. But I wasn't going to go in there and do another thing of weight training because I was really, really pushing myself on those 4 days a week. And so that is, that was really it. Like, I lifted 4 days a week. I would do yoga or walk, the other 3 days for my, training, if you will. And then I would do, outside, low intensity, steady state cardio, walking with the ruck. And when my body wasn't feeling it, I took the ruck off. Again, you don't have to kill yourself, and you shouldn't kill yourself. Like, again, it's consistent, not complicated, right? Everybody thinks that they're going to get all these results in 1 week if they do all these crazy workouts, or 2 weeks they do all these crazy workouts. No, it's the little actions, added up over time that will get you where you want to go. All right, so that pretty much wraps up my training. Now, when it came to my nutrition, okay, pretty much the whole time, I was roughly between 10 to 12 calories per pound of my current body weight, which again is roughly around 200 calories. So I spent the majority of the time around 2,100 to 2,200 calories, okay, which, again, I didn't starve myself. I didn't cycle my carbs. I didn't do intermittent fasting. I didn't, really do much of that. Like, towards the end, there was a couple days that I, did increase my carbohydrates just because I was, doing some very intense workouts with the team at HQ. And when I mean intense workouts, I'm talking like a mile sled push. Like, that's miserable, so I needed a little bit extra fuel on those days. But for the most part, I just tracked my macros, and I would hit my calories and my protein, and I would track my water. I'd drink a gallon of water a day at least, and that was pretty much it. Like, again, there's not a lot of fancy stuff here, okay? And so for you, like, my biggest takeaway that I would share with you is the best diet for you is the one that you can stick to, that controls your calories and controls your protein. Okay, your carbs and fats, honestly, they're interchangeable because they're fuel sources. Okay, but your calories and your protein, okay, are what matter, because calories are going to control whether your weight goes up or down, and protein is what's going to control what you look like when you get to that, goal weight, whatever that might be. Because when we're in a calorie deficit, okay, meaning we are, consuming less calories than we are burning, our body will use our body fat to make up for that lack of energy that we're intaking, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so that's what controls the weight, going up or down. And as long as you're in a deficit, okay, the scale will go down. Okay. Then from there, the protein, right? Protein is critical for overall health. Okay, from hormones and neurotransmitters to hair, skin, nails. I mean, you can go on and on and on about what protein does. Okay, but for fitness and for physical, like aesthetic goals, protein is critical for supporting our lean muscle tissue. Okay, and so when we are in a deficit and we're trying to lose body fat, okay, it's very calorically expensive for our body to hang on to muscle. And so we have to consume at least 1 gram of protein per pound of our current body weight every single day, or not, sorry, 1 gram of protein per pound of our goal body weight every single day, right? So if you are, 250 pounds and you want to be 200, you would eat 200 grams of protein a day, okay? Because that is enough protein to support and maintain our lean muscle tissue as we are dieting down. Okay, so if we can eat in a deficit and we can eat 1 gram per pound of our goal body weight in protein, we're going to maintain that muscle tissue, and then our body will burn that body fat to make up for that energy deficit, and we lose weight, we get leaner, we get toner, and we end up getting, the results that we're after. Okay, and so again, I told you at the beginning of the video, there's not a lot of, of super elaborate things or anything like that with my nutrition. I tracked my macros, I hit my calories, I hit my protein, and I was consistent with that, every single day. All right, so last thing here is I want to talk about my supplements, because I get a lot of questions about, what supplements did you take? Did you take this? Did you take that? Did you do this? Did you do that? Okay, and so I'm going to just go over this with you, okay? And again, much like my training and much like my nutrition, it's not fancy, it's not elaborate, there's not a whole lot going on with it. But the first thing that I do, okay, especially when I am going to be dieting or, trying to lose body weight, is I stick with a sustained assimilation protein. So I use level 1 from us at First Form. This is absolutely incredible. This chocolate banana flavor is absolutely gas. But with it being a sustained assimilation protein, it digests a little bit slower. So it helps keep me fuller longer, which is really helpful, obviously, when you're a caloric deficit, because you're going to be much more likely to be hungry. And again, with it being chocolate banana, it helps kill that sweet tooth. And you can make ice cream with it, you can make waffles with it, you can make tons of different stuff with it, and it's absolutely incredible. And one good thing about all the First Form proteins is they are low temperature processed, meaning that they are cooked at a lower temperature for a longer period of time than your typical protein, which helps to decrease the denaturing of the protein, making it more bioavailable and making it to where you don't have the bubble guts with it. You're not gonna have an upset stomach. It's not chalky, it's not gritty. Like, it mixes up absolutely perfectly smooth in water, and is incredible. And it was a daily staple for me, especially at the end of the night when I really had that sweet tooth. I could, just mix up a shake of level 1 and be good to go to bed. Then from there, I used a post-workout stack, which I have the Formula 1 with me. Loop-de-Fruit is my absolute favorite flavor, but there's also another product, Ignition, which I just realized that I was out of, so I apologize for not having that in there. But the Formula 1, when looking at Formula 1 versus Level 1, Formula 1 is a rapid assimilation protein. It is a hydrolyzed whey protein isolate. It is also low temperature processed. But the difference between Formula 1 and Level 1 is Formula 1 is rapid digesting, and you use it in the post-workout setting because the faster that it digests, the faster that those amino acids and those proteins get to the muscle tissue and begin the repair and recovery process. And then when you are doing high intensity training, like weight training or HIIT training or anything like that, you can combine that with Ignition, which is a high glycemic carbohydrate, which helps to really refill the energy stores that you use during your training session. And also it will help spike your insulin, which helps to just, again, begin the repair and recovery process. And really it's just a perfect post-workout 1-2 punch, because you've broken down your muscle tissue and you've burned through some energy stores. And by giving yourself Formula 1 or that low temperature processed whey protein isolate, you get that protein to your muscle tissue as quickly as possible. And then the Ignition, and that high glycemic carbohydrate digests very quickly to refuel all of those energy stores and put your body in the best state to begin the recovery process. So those are kind of my 2 protein sources, both absolutely incredible. Now, These are staples for me, whether I am dieting or not, but they're absolutely critical. And this is all of my foundational supplements. And so I'm going to start with these three together because honestly, I think anybody and everybody can benefit from these. But is my daily micronutrient packet. So this is Microfactor from First Form. It has a multivitamin, an antioxidant, an essential fatty acid, a probiotic, a CoQ10, and a fruits and veggie capsule. And really, it's formulated to help fill all the known and unknown gaps in an otherwise balanced and healthy diet. And so again, I was eating salads, I was eating veggies, I was eating all these different things. And so I was eating well. But even with that, there's a lot of micronutrients that I could be missing out on, and micronutrients are absolutely critical for our energy levels, our cognitive function, our metabolism, our immune system. And so that is like an insurance policy for me on a daily basis to make sure that I'm giving my body what it needs. And then the next product I use is OptiGreens 50, which you can see I have it in this fancy little plastic container. But OptiGreens really is important for a multitude of reasons, but the primary two is that it has a wide variety of greens and grasses in there. Again, things like spirulina, things like oatgrass, wheatgrass, not shit that is in my normal meal prep, right? Which means that there are other nutrients in there that I'm not getting from my typical meal prep. And so by having that puts me in a good position to cover all my bases, especially when combined with Microfactor. And then past that, really helps out with gut health because there's probiotics. There's 5 billion CFU probiotics in there, and then there's a plant enzyme blend in there. And those two things, the probiotics help to give our body the healthy bacteria that lives in our gut, which is very, very important for our immune system. It's, mood, and again, there's a ton of different things with it, but nutrient absorption as well. And then the digestive enzymes actually help to break down that food, because a lot of times, especially when you're eating higher protein, that can lead to bloating because, high protein foods are a little bit harder to digest for a lot of us. And those digestive enzymes help to break that stuff down so we can get the most out of the food that we're eating. And then lastly, as far as these three go, the thing that I think pretty much everybody can benefit from, which is an omega-3 supplement, and I use Full Mega by us at First Form. And man, I could do and probably will do at some point a whole video on omega-3s because they are absolutely incredible and honestly the closest thing to a miracle supplement that probably exists. And just from cardiovascular function to cognitive function to eye health to joint health to inflammation, everything under the sun. Omega-3s are absolutely critical. And what I love the most about Full Mega is it has a high potency of EPA and DHA. And those two omega-3s specifically are the omega-3s that we are looking for when it comes to getting all of those health benefits. Unfortunately, a lot of fish oils that are out on the market, they will say 1,000 milligrams of fish oil, but they only got 150 milligrams of EPA and DHA. Well, that's because EPA and DHA are expensive and they just want to sell a product and really don't want to get a whole lot of benefit from it. And so by using a high potency EPA and DHA formula in 2 capsules, you can get, sometimes 5-10x of what is in a typical fish oil, and that is a product that I will take for the absolute rest of my life along with Microfactor and greens, but it makes a huge difference from inflammation and just being able to do those workouts day after day after day. It really helps with that. And then the last two that I have, is creatine. All right, everybody's mom's favorite supplement, just kidding. My mom used to get really mad at me if I was taking creatine, because creatine's a quote-unquote steroid, which it's not, Creatine, is the most scientifically researched and backed supplement on the market today, period, done, It is beneficial whether you're gaining weight, losing weight, improving your health. I mean, there's even studies coming out and talking about how it's helpful for cognitive function. But really what creatine does is that it really does 2 things. One, it helps to recycle our energy. All right, so to avoid a bunch of science stuff, our body and our cells use ATP for energy, and creatine helps to recycle that faster. So it can help with more explosive movements. It can help increase strength. It can help, increase energy. Again, it helps your performance in the gym, and so you can push for an extra rep or an extra set, or maybe do a little bit extra weight, which then obviously, when combined with proper training and nutrition, are going to help you, progress in the gym in most situations, which is really what we're all looking for. The second thing that it does, it helps pull water into the muscle cell. Okay, not on top of the muscle cell, not around the muscle cell, inside of the muscle cell, which a hydrated muscle is a healthy and properly functioning muscle, and really helps to pull in, nutrients and just recover. And just, again, there is a ton of benefits to that with creatine. And so 5 grams a day is 3 to 5 grams a day is a really beneficial dose for pretty much anyone that is training or really trying to improve their health. And then lastly, as I used our magnesium product, which is about 420 milligrams of magnesium in there. I have the peach ring flavor. It's absolutely fire. And magnesium really just helps to calm your body down. It really helps to initiate the rest and digest nervous system, which is really going to help our muscles calm down, our mind calm down, and help get you in a better state to fall asleep and get deeper and more restful sleep, which is absolutely critical because while we're sleeping, that is the number one time that our body is actually recovering our muscles and our just all the different aches and pains, and hormones are balancing out, neurotransmitters, like everything's being repaired, while we're sleeping, which again is really when you think about training, nutrition, supplementation, like sleep is the fourth pillar in there when it comes to getting the best results possible. And magnesium is critical for me to, not only get in a good relaxed state to fall asleep, but also get, really deep and restful sleep. But other than that, I'm not a huge pre-workout person. I generally will drink coffee in the morning and then go train. I'm not big into pre-workout. Didn't take any fat burners or anything like that. I mean, it was pretty simple, and that's, as I kind of wrap this video up, like that's the big takeaway that I want you to have, which, one, if you're still listening to this, I'm unbelievably grateful and appreciative of your time. But the big takeaway from this is, the best plan for you is the one that you can stick to. Okay, especially when that comes to your training and your nutrition. Okay, if you like to do CrossFit, do CrossFit. If you like to run, run. Okay, I'll add some resistance training in there. Like, you need to lift weights. Okay, but if you like doing HIIT, do HIIT. If you like doing traditional training, do traditional training. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay, when it comes to your cardio, if you like doing HIIT, do HIIT. If you like walking, walk. If you like to run, run. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, again, it's not a perfect plan. It's perfect execution of the plan. But if you don't like the plan, you can't perfectly execute it, which means you're not going to get results. All right, so that's true with training and with nutrition. Okay, I understand that there's plenty of things out there that are being touted as the number one fat loss diet or the number one this or the number one that. Like, none of that is really true. Okay, the best diet for you is the one that you can stick to and controls your calories and your protein and gives you enough of both. Okay, do not just really slash your calories and starve yourself. Like, that's not going to lead to long-term success. And that's really what this is about, is a lifestyle and getting results over the long term. All right. And then as far as supplements go, have your nutrition plan and fill in your gaps where you need it. Again, like, the reason why I use these proteins, I use level 1 is because I don't like eating chicken all the time. And then obviously this is because, the rate of digestion and post-workout really helps me bounce back from recovery. And again, it also makes it easier for me to hit my total protein number. And then again, with, the micronutrients, the greens and the fish oils, like, I'm not going to eat fish every day. I'm not going to eat kombucha. I'm not going to eat oat grass, and I'm not going to get all those different servings of fruits and vegetables in. Okay. And that's really, just, you don't need, and again, if you eat fish every single day, okay, and you eat wild caught cold water fatty fish and you get plenty of omega-3s, you don't need this, right? Like, if you, are making sure that you're getting in kombucha and kefir and, all these different fermented foods, then maybe you don't need a probiotic or something like greens. Like, again, it's all what's best for you and what you need to do based on your specific situation. And so, again, as I wrap this up, consistency, not complication. Okay. And if you can stick to those pillars, right? Getting your resistance training in, getting your cardio in, drinking your water, okay, hitting your calories, hitting your protein, and you do that over a long enough time, you're going to get the results that you're after, I promise. Okay, so again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that this was valuable to you. If you have any questions, please drop them below here in the chat. And then again, if this video provided you any value at all, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It would mean the absolute world to me because I really want to continue to grow this Pay Yourself First project in this mission, in this message, in this community, so that we all can continue to become the best versions of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.